Hey there, my name is Dawn Brolin. I'm a certified public accountant and I work with small business owners on a regular basis. And I wanted to spend a little time with you to talk about the Run powered by ADP platform. And so we're going to talk about some of the features in there that I recommend that all of my small business clients pay attention to when they're in handling their payroll. So you'll see we'll land at the home page when you first log into your Run platform. The first thing I typically notice and look at are the notifications. So even myself as a small business owner myself, I need to pay attention to these notifications to see if there's something that I need to do. And I appreciate that ADP tees these up for me. So in this case, there's a situation possibly with paid sick leave that we need to pay attention to, and we need to update our GL company mapping. And I just want to mention GL company mapping. What does that mean? That's general ledger. And what happens is you can connect your ADP account, your Run platform account, to your accounting software. And so that way, once you process payroll, the entries, the journal entries that need to be entered into your accounting software is going to happen for you potentially automatically. You may have to participate. It depends on what accounting software you use. But there is the GL mapping that works really, really well and allows for the elimination of manual journal entries or anything happening in your accounting software in a manual way. So I wanted to point out those couple of things while we're in notifications. So that'll be one area that I would pay attention to. Another thing that I find to be really helpful is that, let's say I hire a new person. I can just go to the people section in my left menu bar. And you'll notice here, I can add a new employee or add a new contractor. What I like about this is when I hit add new employee, I can go ahead and invite that employee to fill out their information. So there's the option of having them fill out their W-4 and having them fill out their direct deposit info, which I think is really important because I don't really want to have that data in my systems anywhere. I don't want to have someone's bank account information. I don't want their personal information. So I can invite that particular employee or I'll fill it out. So I have to fill it out. Maybe they've given me all the paperwork and I'm going to go ahead and fill it out. You get the option. So I really like the invite option that allows you to go ahead. You have to start with basic information and then you're going to email to the employee, and now it's their turn to go in there and fill out the rest of their information. So it's just really nice and easy for me to be able to add a new employee. And so this way, if we have an individual, that contractor that uses a social security number or some that uses a tax ID number, we're going to say in this case, a same situation, right? So I'm going to choose, they're going to have an EIN. I know they have an EIN because I've talked to them. I can go ahead again and invite that person. I have to add basic information, but really simple to onboard new employees and onboard new contractors so that you have an efficient and productive process when you're working with new people. And I love this left menu bar. Easy for me to bounce around. Obviously, if I want to run payroll, I can do that right here from the landing page, from the home page, or I can go over here to payroll and I can run payroll. I also have a really a quick way to go and grab off-cycle payroll. So if I've, got somebody and I'm going to give them a bonus check or I'm going to do something that's off-cycle, I can go ahead and do that right by simply clicking on this on the home page and doing that. So I can do an off-cycle payroll here. I can pay a bonus, or I can pay someone that I forgot to pay. Maybe I missed somebody. Maybe they didn't get me their hours in time and I was waiting for them to get me their hours, whatever the case may be. But it's really nice to be able to bounce around and deal with off-cycle payroll. And so the other thing that's really nice about the menu bar on the left are reports. And an area that I think is super important are reports for things you may need, year-end reports. You may want to build some kind of a custom report that you need, that you want to be able to analyze your employees and how you're paying people and that kind of fun stuff. You can also add your accountant right from this particular view. The search up in the top will also get you there if you were like, how do I add an accountant? So you could just type in, how do I add an accountant? And when you do that in the search area, simple, here we go, Accountant Connect authorization. We want to give our accountant access to our payroll, which we do require them in some capacity, whether it's that we can see the reports, or we can actually run payroll for them, which is nice. But you can also do it right from here, add the accountant, which is nice. But you can run single reports, report packages. If you think, and this is, it always says it right in the description, but a workers' comp audit, really for you to be able to pull those reports you're going to need for that workers' comp audit and pull them down in a package instead of doing one report at a time. And so that's another really great feature within the Run platform to allow you to do that. Another thing that sometimes I think we overlook is when we need help. And when we need help, how do we get it? So I love when you can just up here, the question mark is, hey, I got a question. I need some help. So I can click that and say, yeah, you know what? Let me get some help. They have some nice ways for you to connect with them. If you want to chat or message them on your computer, you can do different things there. That's another great little spot for people to visit, and when you need things like that, you need some help. And I've already mentioned the search, but that was definitely another thing that I find if I can't figure out where I need to go or how I need to get there, I can always use the search for a report right here on the homepage. So I hope some of these tips have been helpful for you. Again, as you start to maneuver around the Run platform, just a few little tips and tricks from a certified public accountant. All right. I hope you guys have a great day. Thanks.